You weren't contagious when you sat in the seat last, were you?
I don't know.
We should
Not
check.
to my knowledge. I probably got it from the beauty that is Florida.
And I'm safe.
Yeah.
You're gonna kill me. I really wish you printed out these other
Here.
maps too.
Oh, the other.
Yeah.
Other ones. I have it with me.
What are
Do
we,
you?
I got bring it here.
surplus?
I'm in my car.
That's
That's not helping
okay.
now.
That's okay.
Well, but you see, this shows what it was,
Mhm.
don't know.
and this shows what it will be.
I can tell you, we've never been told that they did. If they
So
did.
this was pink.
Ah,
Pink was 5.
Okay.
Right?
Now,
All right.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Now I
She
really
got,
wish-
she
Got it.
She got
it,
the-
Robert.
Right,
got
this one?
the- thank you.
Yeah.
Is that the right one?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City Council Finance Meeting. It's August 18th and 6:06, not too bad. Councilmember Soriento, want to lead us in the pledge? Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
Allegiance
To the flag
of
the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It came up on my Facebook. Oh, well, that they had their memorial. Yeah.
Really? Okay, what do you need, Jim?
Yeah, I have oh, they're in the.
Really sorry, holding you up.
All right. You mean we can, edit our. Here. No, you can't.
Oh, crap. Did I lose you guys? Shizzers. Sorry for the text, but I lost the feed from Seamus's Zoom account. So I can't hear or see you. Oh,
All right. Let me,
it's back. You're back.
we're back. Sorry about that, folks. Councilmember Gully decided to unplug one of our.
We had an electrical disturbance. Don't let it. I think lightning hit the building.
All set? All right,
Recording's
roll
in
call. Councilmember Gully.
Here,
Councilmember Figueroa. He did unfortunately have a death in the family and will not be here tonight. Councilmember Steele.
Present.
Councilmember Min.
Present in the ether.
Councilmember Conley Wilson.
Present.
Councilmember Soriento.
Here.
Council President Mantello is here. We have 6 present, 1 absent. Presentation of the agenda. We have a really awesome presentation by our independent redistricting commission. We also unfortunately have an absence by our land bank executive director, who hopefully will be coming next month. And we have a number of ordinances and other resolutions. And I'd like to introduce our independent redistricting commission, who was appointed at the end of 2021. Since that time, have put in countless hours, dedication, and energy into looking at our districts here in the city of Troy. They did make a presentation back in April, and they're back. We have legislation in front of us that's proposed, and I will hand it off to Jill, who is head of the Independent Redistricting Commission. If you could have folks introduce themselves for the
We have
public,
Microphone.
and we'll get you the microphone and take away the presentation. Once again, we thank you so much.
Thank you. Good evening, council members, visitors, Mr. Mayor. No, Mr. Mayor's gone.
Well, he was
And
there.
all of you out in the ether, I hope. I'm chair of the commission. My name is Jill Nagy. Our vice chair is Agnes Zink. Our secretary is Mary Sweeney. Our data committee is Robert Martiniano, Blaise Hartley, which is not here, and Peter Keogh. And our writing committee was Robert and me, and the other person who's not here, Jerry Ford. The other thing I'd like to point out, this is going to be a somewhat briefer presentation than before. Can we go back? You can get, the webpage has our full report. It has our minutes, it has our maps, it has everything. And there's the web, the URL for it. You also can go to the Troy, New York webpage, and there's a boards and commissions list, and you can find us there. Okay, next one, please. We did a 2-part study. We first looked at the existing council districts. Can I see the next one, please? The map. Okay. And what we were looking for was population between 13% and 18%, and some other factors. And as you can see, District 6 was well over the 18%. District 3 was very close to 18%, as was District 2. And District 4 was just over the minimum. So that's what we started with. We also were looking for compact, compact, contiguous, convenient districts. And one of the problems we saw were District 5 and District 6 that just sprawl across the city. Okay, can I see the next slide, please? Okay. We reported this to the city council, and at the city council's direction, Our data committee went ahead to draw up a revised or proposed revised map of the city. And this is what they came up with. And you can see the percentages there are very, very close. The other thing I'd point out is that we were able to put census information on a large map of the city. And we could click on different census blocks. And one of the things that was impressive was how diverse the city is. And it's everywhere. You can click anywhere and you get tremendous ethnic diversity and political diversity. So the whole idea of gerrymandering in Troy, I don't think is possible. And of course, we didn't try to do it. Okay, I'm going to let Mr. Martiniano describe the proposed new districts. And one other thing, we have a map that shows the old districts and the new districts together. Do you have that already?
I have to tell you, Jill, that is so helpful.
Good,
Okay. This is exactly, what we were looking for. So thanks.
Does everybody have one?
Thank you
Let me
to the
get this-
planning department. I know Steve isn't here, but thank you to he and his folks. Yeah, this is very, very helpful.
You guys, you have enough of them?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
There are more in the back.
Okay. So as Jill said, we looked at census blocks. It's the smallest geographic level we can get population on, and it was the easiest one to be able to use to determine how to recreate these districts based on the data that we had. And as Jill said, we know that 6 was over 18%, and we felt that there was inequity in District 4 with only about 6,000 people compared to some of the other districts, as well as the sprawliness of Districts 5 and 6. So essentially what the data committee did was take these census blocks, look at the current districts, and then try to reconfigure them to be both equitable plus get within the 13 to 18% that is required by the city charter. Next slide, please. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you. I'll get out of your way because I know I'm there. So what we did, we're going to present each district one by one, and as you can see, we've got the proposed. The next slide actually compares the proposed with the existing. And as you can see, District 1 really didn't change. The only thing we did with District 1 was we took 111th Street and we just went straight east, kind of split the green space that was out there. But the population didn't change that much. Next, please.
Hey,
Yes.
Robert, real quick,
Sure.
also, I believe, hold on, so I think the big change in 1, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Stone Ridge was taken out, or Stone Ledge
So-
was taken out too and put into 1, which makes sense.
So it actually, yeah, so I'm trying to remember where it was. It's kind of in there someplace. Yeah. So again, as we looked at things, we tried to, one of the things we thought that the current districts, we didn't think they did a good job using green space or roadways. So we tried to take those, kind of physical barriers in our minds as we looked at this. So District 2, what essentially we did, we kept 111th, which is the current boundary. Again, we did expand it east to the city boundary, but we used on the east side, we used Oakwood to go all the way up to the city boundary. So that's the big change. So
Robert,
Yes.
still on 1,
yeah.
where did you end on the south end? Are you ending Humiston? Where's the line? Or are you going all the way to Fair Park?
All the way to the boundary. Can you go back to one, please?
Robert, for some reason, the map we're following is not,
Yeah, it looks a
It's-
little
it's
different.
not
than-
syncing, it's
Yeah.
not
All the way
syncing
down
with
here.
what you have.
Well, that's
And I
not the-
wondered, is that?
That's
because
not the right map.
Is that because
Aha.
that's the,
Found the problem.
is that the cemetery?
Yeah, that's not,
Can we make copies real quick of the right map?
Well, this is what the planning department did.
Oh.
I know, that's what the planning department did.
Yeah,
so this is the right map.
Oh.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
that's totally different. Can we pop off
Okay.
7 copies? quick?
I wish we could blow it up.
We don't need color. Well, oh, you do? Oh, may we?
No,
Is that
I
French?
may need your
I just
cheaters.
speak French.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
That's an old.
All right, so we'll go back to the drawing board,
All right,
so to
let's-
speak.
Okay, so this is no good.
So I was talking, it didn't make sense.
The exhibit A attached to the ordinance also has these maps.
Had these maps?
Have these. So if we
Only-
go
The only
online.
difference is right here. This is a moment mistake. Look, everything else is the same in here. Right? Everything else is the same except for that line. So this here
Yeah, it's page.
would be 2.
34.
All right, sorry to interrupt, Robert, but we were,
We apologize.
yeah, we were kind of,
Your lines were matching our lines.
Yeah.
we'll,
It's a total disconnect. As
Well-
I'm explaining it, doesn't make sense, right?
right, yeah,
Well,
so now
Right.
we're back to,
Are we good? Back online? We can start talking again? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm sorry, with District 1, what we did, we took 111th, which was the existing boundary, and we just went east all the way to the city border. I'm sorry?
Right there, that's why it's steeper.
Okay. So as you can see, it just cuts across and cuts the green space right there.
okay.
This part was already kind of split between 1 and 2. So that's still all in one now. And when we did it, we knew that all the population was sitting here anyways for this census tract. So it didn't change the count.
Hey, Robert,
Yes.
on that note, I did receive a call. Someone asked why you didn't consider 112th Street since it's such a define. Was it because of the numbers or something?
So,
or-
yeah, so we actually did look at that. I mean, again, we could take this whole block and move it, but the numbers then skewed everything. We'd have to move south with District 2, then that impacts on District 3 and District 4. And we just felt that it made more sense just to stay with 111. And again, just go straight across to the city council, to the city border.
Okay.
Next slide, please. So again, with 2, the northern part, again, is 111th Street, cut all the way across, as you can see. The only change we really made was we used Oakwood on the east side to go totally up to the city border. So you can see this little piece used to be in 1, or I'm sorry, in 2, and we just moved that to 3. But that's,
Where's that now? Okay, Humiston now.
Yep.
Okay,
right.
yep.
So we used Oakwood as the boundary.
Okay. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
It really does. Martin Luther King is still in too.
Right.
Got it. Okay, okay.
Okay.
That actually, the Humiston never made sense being, I mean, I get it, it's so good, but. Yep.
Yeah. And we kept the Hoosick Street as the southern boundary for 2. So really, the only change was really that part of Humiston and the couple others. Yeah.
Adding in
Yep.
Okay. Next slide, please. So 3, that's 2. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay.
Could you go back? I'm so sorry, Robert,
Okay.
to the prior slide. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see now, what was taken? Okay, what's the sliver on the south, Mary?
This,
Yeah.
So
went
that's
into-
green
is that
space.
just green
That's
space?
all green space.
Uh,
So the only population that's really here is right there.
Okay,
But the rest of it is for park and green space.
okay, all right.
So again, as you can see, it's 111th going east and then Hoosick on the southern border and Oakwood. Okay. So 3 had some changes because of 2 and 4 and 5. 3 had more changes. But again, so on the west side, you see Oakwood going all the way up. We also used the cemetery and Tibbetts. So Tibbetts is here and then goes up. And rather than keep going up for Tibbetts, we decided to use the cemetery, which is right there. So we kind of used the green space in that case to make it a boundary rather than put Tibbetts out. Because what would happen is this population then would be by itself because of what's there.
But so you kept, did you take Euclid and Rankin and put
That's still
that?
there, but what you lose,
I think,
that's still
Yeah.
there. I'm pretty sure that's still there. But all of Route 2 and Cheryl Court and all
Yeah.
that is gone, right? Am I right?
Okay, so that now would be.
yeah, so Tibbetts is the southern part
Okay, okay.
and
Oh,
Tibbetts,
so what you're saying, you took Tibbetts out.
well, one side of Tibbetts is there, one side isn't.
Okay,
You know, that's always the issue with doing this. It's like it's split down the middle of a street. So one side you're on in one district and one side you're in another district.
so you kept all of three, you kept all behind, the one side, the
So it's
back of
Tibbetts.
South Lake.
Right, Tibbetts going north.
Now I think we're losing.
Or,
If you go out Tibbetts,
Because here's Tibbetts
South Lake,
and then it goes out.
what happens to the south?
yeah,
of-
what
south of-
happens like
south of
behind South
Tibbetts?
Lake, there's,
That goes to 4?
I assume it's in there. Yes, it would probably go to 4.
ooh, no.
That would be 5.
That'd be 5, right?
5?
I'm sorry, that's 5. You're right. So right here is St. Mary's Cemetery. And what we felt was that green space made sense to be a boundary. So there's
So
a,
are you stopping? I'm totally
At the
confused. So
cemetery.
Mary, 3 will stop at the cemetery and then you're going, you know the road that I'm talking about behind South Lake. You have like the one side of the street, one side's Brunswick, the other side is Troy. That's not in 5 now, is it?
Are you talking about
If you said the street, help me.
Euclid?
No, not Euclid Rankin. It's over.
On the other
it's
side?
Mr.
Oh,
Sub.
Bro?
Um,
it's Tibbetts.
That's pivot, that bottom boundary.
Yeah, go back to the previous slide because it actually describes the boundaries in text.
so confused then.
So again, it's Oakwood down to 10th. And you see Hoosick kind of right there, and then 15th, and then Tibbetts to the west. And then Tibbetts and St. Mary's Cemetery on the south side.
Okay.
The one side of pivot is 3, the other one was 5.
Right, but the question is, going up Hoosick, like, there's a street past Mr. Sub.
Oh, all of Hoosick is in,
That's still 3.
That's
is in 3, yes.
Okay,
So-
all of
But-
Okay, I see your question now.
Right,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
So this is Hoosick right in the middle.
I can't, yeah. I
So
can't-
this is Hoosick right in the middle is Hoosick.
That breaks it to cemetery.
Okay.
But,
And
but
then,
Tibbetts, south of all of that, so Euclid, Rankin,
So we'll get. the
I
people
can't
on
think of all the
Can you,
names, but
can you go to the next
Yeah.
slide, please, Maria?
they now are in 5?
that's,
Wow.
So actually,
that's huge.
so here's part of Tibbetts, and as you can see, it just,
So, but.
there are some changes, there's some pluses and minuses in 5, and between 5 and 3.
I
It kind of
feel-
rash, go ahead.
Yeah, I am a little, I didn't realize ranking Euclid, that area was being put in 5. Didn't we try to like keep neighborhoods together because that really is part of South Lake? You know what I'm saying?
I know, but you can't.
You know, it would help if we could have seen some of the streets behind like the
Streets.
color, yeah.
And so Bolivar, I would take, that's in 5.
No, I can't,
I get
I
that, but
can't
I
get
really
the
think-
internet anyways, or else I
yeah.
bring up the map.
like Euclid Rankin,
They
they're
identify
totally,
themselves.
yeah, they identify themselves as Sickaway. I
Well,
think that,
You can't, this isn't a perfect science. You know, we have to.
yeah, but that's huge. I mean, I get like Bolivar and that area.
So
pull
you're-
that into
You're
the
talking rates below Tibbetts and south of Tibbetts?
I'm talking north, basically west of Tibbetts, or east, I'm sorry, east of Tibbetts. So picture on the other side of the cemetery.
So here, this is Tibbetts right here.
North of the
Tibbetts runs,
cemetery.
Tibbetts runs along and then Tibbetts actually angles up. So this whole thing is Tibbetts until you get to the cemetery.
These are off of Tibbetts. So picture you're going from, along Tibbetts, you're going north toward Hoosick Street.
So what you're
There's-
talking about is this section right here, this little,
Are you talking about?
I have a map up
Yeah.
if you want to take a
Okay,
look.
we're
Yeah.
talking off of.
I couldn't
So-
get my,
So, there's Tibbetts right here and then, you can see.
Euclid
It's-
Rankin,
it's-
it's
yeah,
like
Euclid
right
right
off of
here.
Tibbetts.
It's south of
Ranking,
Tibbetts. It
all
borders,
that.
it borders South Lake and Tibbetts.
Correct.
So
so that would be, I think that would be, that would stay in, if I'm looking at that, that would
What's that?
stay in 3. Because that's the cemetery.
14.
Oh, wait, you're right. So
Yeah,
it
that's
goes,
where you're looking at, like this area.
and you're showing me this where,
It's
where
not
was this
15.
again?
This is,
it might
Tibbetts
be
Ave,
14.
Right.
right after it turns, you
I
know, that's the
wish
same
it
areas
had.
that you were talking about.
Yeah.
If you look at the map, it
Okay,
does look like there's a little section of red that is going
right,
into
so it goes up, goes up,
Oh, this is nice.
And you're-
Yeah, Shelton, all
Okay.
that, yeah.
So,
We're
yeah, so
right
I'm talking about
that's-
like
that
this
whole-
area here.
so that's now in,
I think that's now.
yeah, I
Oh,
think,
really? Okay, so then,
So they did stay in frame.
okay,
If they say in
Yeah.
3, I'm only saying like you get it.
well, I
To
think
Bring them to
part,
like 5, I think. would-
it's balancing the neighborhoods with the population.
Right.
yeah,
Okay, what we need to do is to not say Tibbetts to.
Right.
Well, we have to, you have to refine that description of
Euclid
streets then,
Rankin.
because
that's right here.
it's not Tibbetts to South Lake.
That little drop.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's Tibbetts.
okay, so it's this, this
I-
little section
I-
right there.
Yeah, it's Euclid, Rankin.
Yeah, it looks like it
Yeah.
drops down Euclid,
And then
then goes over here and
maybe
over.
Chelton, it might be Chelton Ave, might be the Chelton and comes back up.
Yeah, because it
to
looks, it
Rankin.
looks, okay, so it looks like it drops, can I see that map?
Hey, Mary. So I love that. Can we,
But we're gonna need to
Can
somehow
we-
merge,
I'm on it right
merge
now.
your data with what.
with planning?
And see if we can't come up with.
With a map that shows the roads?
Yeah.
Yeah, so look,
Okay.
Mary, which one is that? 1, 2, 3, 4?
yeah, the software that we used didn't,
That's easy.
so it looks like the district, where are we again?
See, it's right here.
Okay, so it looks, well, that's the
I hope
existing.
everyone's
This is
following him.
existing.
Yeah, so it looks like the existing one drops down,
Does it come all the way down to Euclid
it looks like it drops down to Euclid, then
Uh-huh.
across and goes back up
at Wendell?
at Wendell, yeah.
Maybe Euclid?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm actually following along because I pulled up Google Maps, so I'm like, I can follow all the street names.
And include Shelton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can work with the city to put streets on these maps.
I mean, you get like, yeah,
Yeah, they're a neighborhood that.
yeah, like to separate that with.
Oh, that is so cool.
Mary, that is really cool. We gotta get planning with,
Angelina, we'll
Why
hook
can't we get them to
Angelina
send
up
us a
with
copy?
you and
Have
we'll
All in it
merge.
together.
tomorrow, but have her reach out.
I will, yeah.
and,
okay.
and Mary, you can confirm that all stays in free, that area.
Okay.
Council President,
Yes.
so does that mean,
Yes.
like, I'm looking at the map now, so does that mean like 14 that goes to 5 then?
Yeah, 14, because that would be on the
Yeah.
other side of
Okay.
Tibbetts would now
Yes,
into
So
5.
like
Great,
Bolivar and
So.
lower, which
lower.
makes, that would make sense.
Yep.
All
The-
along,
this
Route 2, all along Route 2, Sherrill Court, all that,
And
So
Brunswick.
Shelton and Wendell.
I know, but can I just say something based on that line, that district line you have there? It really looks like it comes off pivots down Eldridge Court to Rankin. And then when it gets to Cary Court, it looks like it takes a left again and goes up and over according to your map. Instead of including that last 1-15, which is that last sector. To see how they have a jog there that comes out and goes up?
That's, no,
So that-
she showed that to us.
Yeah, it looked like the green comes,
Right, looks like it
corners
goes,
that Eldridge and comes down. And it might only come down to Chelton and then go back, but I'd have to look at their.
oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're bringing
Oh,
it down
are
to
you
Chelton.
saying-
Is that a?
Hopefully that
Yeah.
stays together.
I'm saying, if you bring that to
in
Chelton and
Wendell.
over, that would make sense.
And Wendell,
Okay, I need to-
Yeah.
Carlisle.
So-
That includes
They're all
it.
Right.
together.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get
So
together
Mary,
again.
if you guys can look at those tiny streets, Shelton, Wendell,
So we're taking
Carlisle,
notes?
you know, just to keep that together, I think is really important.
Okay.
I'll send you this picture.
District
I
map?
just put Rensselaer County district maps and it came up and it's number 11, 12 and 14.
Yeah, I got it right here. Thank you.
Download it to your phone so we can talk about it. Just the way it looks. I don't want to
And,
go.
and I'm not trying to be difficult at all, but that area, it's gotta stay together.
Council President,
Yes, Councilmember Min.
where does Stanford Ave fall? Is that 5 or 3 then?
That would be in 5,
Okay.
because that's over by Bolivar, isn't it, Mary? No, isn't it?
It comes off,
The Orchard?
it comes off 141. It's south of Chelton, parallel with Euclid. Unless
What's the name of the street?
it's Stanford Avenue. I'm looking at Google Maps.
That's Brunswick.
That's
I
not,
think that's Brunswick.
Okay.
That's Brunswick. That's Brunswick.
Oh, well, that solves that problem.
they're not voting with us.
There's such a fine line there, though. I mean, like, a lot of people don't even know they're in Troy. They think they're in Brunswick and.
Yeah, this would be good to have this under that
Yeah, I think
color
this is what
scheme
it's
to give us a better indication. Because I think now that's the way it is looking now. It does look like that jotted down, actually down Euclid part of the way and then maybe came up Wendell and then went over, you know what I mean? 'Cause that would make that would make that same type of, that would really make that same type of figure, but here it's gray, so I don't know what that,
That's another election.
all right,
That's a different election,
all right.
but. and
So
I
it looks
don't
like
know
just
what
this
the
point comes in here, and it's
census
added to 3. And then this goes to 5.
I don't know what.
That's a good
As long as you get clarity on that.
Oh,
Well, that's
People that are going into 5 or that.
So this would go to, so District 5 would touch basically District 3 and 4.
no, that's not.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bob? What's the jury say?
We will look at it.
Oh,
Again,
okay,
the
okay.
software we had didn't do a good job with putting the streets on, so. And Mary made a good point. This is all based on the census blocks. And it's possible that a census block may have split. I know in 5 and 6, when we were looking at census blocks were kind of funky. So we will look at that and see where that street is.
Okay. And believe me, we're so appreciative of
Yeah.
all of this. I get it. But if we could somehow keep them
The
together,
neighborhood.
yeah, the neighborhood,
Yeah.
not split. Because it's such,
They
like, the
identify.
cemetery's right there. So if you were to take them, put them in 5,
They would be-
there's.
Well, and I think that's, yeah, exactly. So this part right here is the cemetery.
Geographic Separation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would have no connection to 5.
Yeah.
So this right here is the cemetery.
Yeah.
And so that's
Yep.
why it's actually,
So we just need to change
Okay.
the description of Tibbetts. It's not
We
Tibbetts.
can add more streets in there.
It's not Tibbetts.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All-
Yeah. Thanks.
good.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
any other things about 3 before we move on?
All the Tibbetts goes to Boughton and
Yep.
Councilmember Steele just said we're losing Cheryl in that area and that's going to come to
5.
5.
Along to Bolivar, that part. all goes to
Orchard.
5. Yeah, Orchard, all that.
Yep.
Highland. That
Highland,
whole chunk
yeah.
of Highland.
Highland
Okay.
Ave.
Yeah.
That all goes over to 5, I guess. which I'm not sure.
How
Yeah.
far east does 5 go? Oh, I'm so
We're
sorry. We're
That's
not
all
in 5 yet.
It goes
I
Yeah.
apologize.
So I mean, so one of the things with the existing 3 was that it was at 17.9%. And we were concerned that we wanted to make sure we didn't, kind of wanted to drop it down to be more equitable. So
Hmm.
that's where I think we're losing a little of the population. So you lost 500 people?
500 more
Hmm.
doors next year, so.
No, less doors.
Okay,
500 less.
more.
500
less.
less.
So it went from about 90, it went from 9,200 to about 86 and change by the reconfiguration.
We brought everybody to
Right.
Everybody. only a couple
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
No, you did a great job on the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously, very, very.
Okay, so 4 is, all right, so any more questions on 3 before we go to 4?
We're good.
I didn't
No.
expect a pop quiz. I gotta think about this.
You're doing great. Your hair was a little disheveled. It's okay
Oh, as I'm
now.
playing with it? Okay.
We want you to earn your money, Robert.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that big
exactly.
paycheck.
Thanks, I appreciate that. So 4, so as we talked about 4 had 6,000 people in, was rated at 13.2%. And we felt that, for a number of reasons, it needed to have more people just to make all the district more equitable. So we kept Hoosick Street as the northern boundary between 4 and 2. A lot of the street between 3 kind of stayed the same. The big issue was what we do with Prospect Park. And this was a case where we actually looked at green space and tried to figure out how best to use that. So the green space, so Prospect Park became kind of a northern boundary for it, along with, let's see, where are we? 10th Street and part of Tibbetts and Prospect Park. So here is 10th. There's 10th. There's 15th. So it's 10 to Sage to 15. And then it follows, and then Prospect Park. And then we use Canal Street at the southern tip, the southern end. So we did add 2,500 people or so to it. And mostly Rayton where the RPI is. That's the big census block was RPI that we added to it.
So, okay, and 4, where was the prior going up?
Can you,
Congress?
next one, please?
There we go.
Yeah, so this is Prospect Park here. So we obviously put that in. We dropped down the southern border a little to Canal. I can't remember what street that was. That was Adams or something.
used to be.
Liberty? Okay,
Liberty, yeah.
thanks. I think it was one of those. So we kind of straightened that line out a little. 5 comes into it more again, because now we had to rationalize 4, 3, 4, and 5.
But
The
the-
RPI, which is in here, moved into 4.
Mm,
So the proposed is on the right, correct?
I'm sorry?
The
The
proposed.
new one is on the right.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Is that a solid line there or does it dip a little bit?
So this was a case where the census tract is actually a little funky, actually drops down. But what we said was we'll just go across the Poston Kill and Canal Street and just cut it straight.
Okay.
There were like, what, 10 people in the,
Yeah, it was very minimal
Yeah,
that were not-
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mary, what EDs, do you mind?
For 4.
Yeah.
16, 17, and 18.
And does this cover a little bit of 19 now?
Well, it will take, yes, 19 now, because that's where Prospect Park is. and
Yeah.
19. So, yeah. So the EDs are, once this gets approved, all the EDs are. Maybe more, maybe less.
And south, you're coming to the canal. That'll be.
Yep, so Canal Street, Poston Kill. And again, this was the same case with 111th and Lansingburg. We just cut it straight across, even though the blocks were a little weird in there. There was a slight judge in one of the blocks that went into between 4 and 5.
Mhm. And you're ending it at Ida or you're ending it on Canal Avenue? Canal, and then where it ends up hitting Spring Ave.
Yes, it goes to, can you go back to the text, please? That one?
So Hill would be a part of
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Yep. So 3, 4, and 5 all meet at, I think that's 150 and Tibbetts. 3, 4, and 5 all meet right there,
15.
right? At 15th Tibbetts and, yeah.
Okay. And they did before, well, at least 4 and 3.
Yeah, it's mostly the southern.
Yeah.
it-
Yeah, so the big thing with 4 is we took, if you remember, 5 kind of ranged all from the east side to the west side, from the east side to the Hudson River, so we split that, so 4 got part of that.
Okay. And
Six
so the
double.
ICC now would be part of 4.
No.
Yeah, DeFazios, yeah.
I think the ICC was already.
Yeah, it is.
ICC was, right.
But DeFazio's is.
Right, so everything, all that's north of
Yeah.
ICC. would be-
Washington Park
Yeah.
will be 4 now,
Because now it goes up. and
right,
across
to the canal.
Yep.
to the east.
Yeah. And goes all the way down to the Hudson River,
Yes,
correct?
so the Hudson basically to 15th and some places 10th. And then
Well, it was-
the northern edge of, or the eastern edge of Prospect Park. So this is all a Prospect Park.
4 is now a comparable district with every other district.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I think we always thought that there was so much more population because of the apartments and
Right.
downtown, but that was the biggest shocker to me.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I knew it was lower, but not that much. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, and there have been population changes, so who knows how, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Council President, it also
It
may,
was just about at the minimum before.
it may also have been timing of the census. Because if the count was done in early 2020 and the colleges didn't have any students there, it could have actually undercounted 4.
True. Yeah,
very-
Yeah, that could have.
But if it's a. 20 years.
I think part of the problem with 4 is that since the census in 2020, I think more people have moved into that district.
Exactly.
Yes.
And with more apartments coming, that's going to get to be a much bigger district. So but we have to work with the 2020 census and we can't
It's a great.
guess what 2022 looks like.
Jill's already volunteered for
Great. All right, good. I'm glad.
Jill, stop that. Well, and if you think about it, the District 4 map, like Councilmember Steele said, it's been 20 years since that is.
Can you go to the next map,
you know.
please?
Council President, yep, I have a
Council
question.
members
So
oriented.
is all of, because Emerald Greens now it looks like it's gonna be going into 5. Is all of Emerald Greens gonna be inclusive in 5?
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well,
but we'll get there, yeah. But it's sticking on 4, so canal down to the river,
right.
and then you're going to cut at Spring. So right at the point there, is that the cut the bottom of Spring? Or
Yeah,
do you
there's
go
canal
up
right there.
Spring a little?
Yeah.
So-
I don't have my,
It's probably right about where it's hitting right by where Culligan is, where Canal hits Spring, because Hill Street
going all the way.
is
It's that street rate, whatever that is.
That is.
by the Bearing Factory.
Okay,
Hill
so
Street.
it's gonna stop
Right,
right
but-
at Spring, not include any
We ran
of
into-
the gorge that's
Not-
gonna.
No, what is this
Okay.
street right here?
Okay.
Down
That one right there.
Sorry, Peter.
Coming downhill, that'll still be
No,
4.
that-
Could that be spring?
Cut towards like Haverman's Avenue, all that around that park and then over. So you can hear, it. That's just going to St. Mary's and Haverman's Ave up there. And then it comes down here.
Wait a minute, St. Mary.
There is, it's,
That
Where's
is.
St. Mary?
Spring House.
you're right.
It's-
It's spring, it is spring. So it
Spring.
goes Canal and then hits spring right there.
South.
Okay.
So spring goes there. So
So what EDs are those, Mary?
20, 20, 21, 20, basically, so it's 20.
Uh-huh.
So
I
it jogs
think
back to Hill Street.
now, to my memory, Canal, yeah, it was
Canal
20,
is
but
all in the
like,
20. Now
a little
goes
bit.
straight across the
Yeah.
spring.
Yeah.
It goes right there.
So that's ED 20.
So that must be this little point. right
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
It's where the old bar used to be in the corner.
Yeah, it's shot.
So Hill Street is that little,
Hill Street comes back.
right, and that's that
It
little
goes all the way
piece
over to
that's
Fifth Ave.
jogging up there.
and then Hill Street
And then that
turns to
jog up
Spring.
has got to be Haverman's Avenue. And the jog down has
Yep.
got to be by the Crab Club.
Yep, yep, exactly.
Okay.
That used to be my.
Wow.
spot. That's why I was born.
Okay.
I sat on the hill, stayed on the river.
yes.
Okay, any other force questions?
Any other?
Any other questions on 4?
Okay.
All right, let's go to 5.
Now we get to the juicy ones, 5 and 6.
So if you remember, both 5 and 6 kind of went east-west, and we felt that it made more sense to go north-south, but there are no roads that really go north-south. So we looked at some major roads. So we've got, again, Tibbetts and St. Mary's. So again, it bounces, it borders up to 3. We get Tibbetts and St. Mary's. We've got all the Prospect Park. And then we've got, where are we? Campbell and Spring are the major ones in Vandenberg. And Councilmember Soriento, you asked about
Emerald Greens.
Emerald Greens.
Yeah, is that gonna be,
Yeah,
yeah,
That's okay.
I'm very confused.
I'm a bird girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're on the north side of the city.
From Charlotte to Industrial Park,
Right.
like, is that,
That's all 5.
that's all gonna be 5?
Isn't that where you live?
Yeah,
You gotta change districts.
I know.
Vandenberg to west.
All right, so let's
All
think
right, so we
about,
got-
let's think about this.
You know what?
So Country
Irene?
Gardens,
Irene.
you're putting in 5? You're gonna
That's
split
the-
Country Gardens and Emerald?
You're coming this way.
Country Gardens is, like, it's, yeah, it's in the Emerald Greens.
I know that.
Yeah,
I did your vote.
okay. Which is right next to Industrial Park Road is the Country Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like that's
So-
gonna be-
I believe that would. So a lot of the industrial stuff is in here. And the interesting thing was we couldn't split, this whole area was like one big census block. So there was no really good way to split it and understand the population that were going. Because I would have liked to have split it that way better, but it didn't work well with the data. Can we go to?
Yeah, I'd like to see.
one more?
Yeah, next one. So that's it. So it looks like.
So-
It looks like Country Garden Industrial Park Road, I think.
Yeah, so there's Stowe. So this is Vandenberg
it's
to
separating.
Campbell to Spring and then Canal is 6.
But Campbell Spring on the right would
Yep.
be 5.
Right, so,
You're
The yellow.
right, so
That's the right
there's
side of Campbell.
Spring and everything that way, and there's Campbell.
So 5, all right, so 5 is gonna pick up where 4, it's gonna come up. Congress, It's gonna go all the way Pauling, have that whole area.
Yep.
It's going to connect with 3, but then you're gonna come down, pick up some of 6. Are you keeping all of Griswold Heights?
That stays in 6.
Okay.
Because
so
that's right in here.
I guess what I don't understand is why Emerald was cut. I mean, I know you had to figure out numbers, but why Emerald was cut from Cottage to go into 5, if it's all right there, like Stowe is in 6, correct?
It's right here, yep.
Yep.
So the demarcation is Vandenberg, right here.
And again, I believe, if I remember correctly, and of the age, I remember it's personal. Census tract. It had the group, the way it grouped, so we kind of stayed with the census tract. And I remember
Census blocks.
Census blocks.
Yeah.
So we talked about how we couldn't cut that,
You can't.
cut that census block, would have thrown one number way off.
Well, and that was the thing. We looked at Griswold Heights, not Griswold Heights.
Hillsview.
Yeah, right here. And it was like 1,000 people. So if we move that, which we thought about, that sets off all the other numbers. So that was a major issue with what to do with this strip right here.
So if you set that over and you took Emerald Greens and what's the other one, Country, whatever,
Country Gardens.
and left that in 6, would that have balanced everything off? between those two?
We looked at that. I don't believe so, but I can check it again. Because what happened, but there's no really good streets here. That's part of the issue. And again, so it would look cut up more, I think. Whereas the major roadways, I think, make a better demarcation between the council districts.
So, Robert, so 5 now is going to be all of Hillsview, all of Griswold, go down the hill, pick up Lincoln, right? Or would Lincoln now be in 4?
No,
No, because Canal.
So Griswold, you said Griswold as in Griswold Heights?
Griswold and Hillsview are that whole area. So
Okay.
Madison and,
That's all in 6,
yeah.
or is it 3?
Okay, so that's all in 6.
I'm trying to remember where Madison is.
Okay,
Madison would be 6.
Right.
right. So Delaware, O'Neill, that
Mhm.
whole area, that's gonna be in 6.
Yep.
But then the other side of Campbell, but you're taking Cottage, or Country Garden into 6, and then taking Emerald, putting into 5, which is lower, but then Stowe, I'm totally.
Right, Stowe is kind of right in the middle here. Stowe's like right there.
Emerald.
And Lincoln looks to be someplace in there.
Right now it's at 6.
I know it's in 6
Yeah,
now,
but
I'm saying
it's going into
it's
5.
going into 5, but,
But the Country Garden Apartments is part of Emerald Greens.
right, but that's going in 6. Right, Mary?
But Emerald Green isn't a street, isn't a road.
No,
right?
it's
Okay, I know, I get it.
yeah.
We're dealing with streets. so
Okay,
we're
so
not dealing with
picture
the-
Sherman,
right. But to call Evergreen.
yeah,
it's not in
sorry,
our universe, but
I'm
outside.
sorry. So
Oh.
picture, Sherman, picture,
What EDs, Irene, are you?
What is it, 25?
I don't-
26.
I just
I
go
think it'd
by
be
streets.
26.
No, I'm trying to
Pretty
bring
sure
it up.
25
Yeah.
is 5. 19.
Sherman, Donegal,
Yeah, Donegal, Adair.
Aaron 25, now they're.
Then you have Colleen, which Colleen is Country Garden. So Colleen is,
Right. Yeah, that's in 26 now, Country Garden Park. Industrial Park Road, Colleen Road. They're in ED 26 right now. which is absolutely fixed.
Right.
So.
And do they move? Where's Campbell from there?
Campbell.
I so want that.
Is that
what
Vandenberg?
Mary
Campbell right
has
up
now.
And this is Vandenberg?
You get it? I mean, this would be so much easier.
Oh, that's Donegal.
Oh, do you have it?
That's Falling out. Campbell.
Just can't get it to come up. Gotta come up separate. And bring it up.
Yeah, it looks like 26.
Not a long presentation, huh, Jill?
So much shorter.
Yeah, actually, I wish I had internet access. I could have pulled up the maps. It would have been easier.
It's okay, we'll get there. We'll get there.
So I guess what we need to do is actually street it out.
That would be
These
good.
streets would be
It'd just be more helpful.
an all encompassing street. all these
Yeah.
streets and-
Yeah, like what you have is perfect. Yep,
Council President,
yes.
would it be possible for you guys just to identify all the different EDs and if any of them are getting like split up?
That we can't do
Okay.
until we settle on.
Okay,
They don't match up.
Right.
EDs now don't
Right.
match up to. what-
yeah,
It's
I'm
just
just
a street
curious
to
about
be-
which ones are kind of maybe changing and shifting. Once we've-
Got to be approved and it comes to the board.
Right.
election,
Yep.
And then we have to figure out, and it's our process then.
Gotcha. I think it may help us as, or I know for me, it would be helpful just knowing like which EDs are kind of shifting. I just mean the existing EDs and
Try it, yeah.
then just
Well, the
listing
question
those
is,
out
can we
if that's
overlay the
possible.
EDs with the,
We might be able to.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not asking for like what the new EDs will be. I'm just asking with the existing EDs in the new proposed districts, which ones are going where? I think that would be helpful. Yeah, and I understand that, but just identifying that I think would be helpful for us and communicating to our constituents, like, hey, you may be in a different district in the future.
I will say, thankfully, all of the east side will be one now, which is fabulous. I mean, that's long overdue. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I just,
It's a long story.
yeah,
I made a reference to that a couple of days ago.
but, the big thing, I'm curious, emerald greens and where that jives with
I still
if
can't
it's in
find-
5.
I still can't find that ED. I don't know what it is, what number it is.
What you get, and
For Emerald Greens.
26.
26.
Yeah.
And part of 30.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. All right, so
If I
can,
were to send, like these election district maps, who would I send them to, or whoever, they can go on, I don't know if it's easier for me to send them, or for somebody to go online to the county's website, and go on there, or somebody here.
well, you're going to
Overlay or-
connect with planning, right? So maybe get planning to connect. Yep.
I've already had Aaron start the map, trying to configure what you look here, and Aaron is the city engineer. What I'm hopeful now is that he can communicate directly with you, so that you can verify as you go along.
Yeah.
Which particular streets, especially on the lower corner of the street there. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
So we'll be doing that. Joy, don't take more track of it.
Tuesday I'll be busy.
And that one,
Yep,
Busy time for the Board of Elections.
yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy, so. Okay, so I think till we get that overlay,
Yeah.
But it looks like, at this point,
the
the
proposal,
neighborhood of Emerald Greens will stay together. But there's a question of cottage, correct?
Country.
Or country.
Yeah. Country
Yeah.
garden apartments.
looks like Emerald, right now is being proposed, but I'm not sure if the whole thing, because Sherman is another ED that
Yeah.
might be going to
Sherman looks like,
6.
no, Sherman looks like
Sherman, you
it's
think?
it's in 5.
Okay,
If you look at the map.
Yeah.
okay. Yep,
Just six is the easiest one to map out. Oh, now.
Yeah.
To the east, right where it hits Spring Avenue, would be the bridge there.
Mhm.
It goes up Spring and comes to Campbell. And I believe it follows down Campbell all the way to Spring Avenue. and then up to-
Mhm.
So everything to the right of that district, including, we're talking about Emerald, Sherman, all that stuff, all that's in five.
5.
Okay, and Hillview Heights and Grizzly Heights are in six.
Okay, so, okay, so you essentially took the chunk, divided, okay, so, yeah, so Valeni's now would be in 5. You're going all the way up to the city line, right? Because that's 6 now. Pauling, go all the way, Pauling. So all of Pauling to
Yeah.
the city line. Okay, and then you're going to come down. Okay, that's good, Rick. So Campbell going down, the right side's going to be 6 and the left side's going to be 5.
So
Interesting. So 5, how
Yeah,
far
good enough.
down, where does it stop? Morrison, you said?
No, and
Vandenberg.
And it
where
was
the
up hill,
storage
man.
is and where
Mhm,
cars used
yeah,
to be.
yeah.
Then you
All
go
right,
pick up-
so it's kind of looping. I got it. Interesting. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Wow.
And this is what happens when it hasn't been done.
I get it
Yeah.
for, yeah, 20 years. Yeah. What's for dessert?
So, the next map, do one more.
We got one more.
So again, this just shows, on the right side is proposed, left side is current, and as you can see,
The big thing, yeah.
right, because everything was going east-west with 5 and 6, so we tried to make it a little more north and south. But I'm sorry, I don't have the mic in front of me. So it was, 5 was east-west, 6 was mostly east-west. We tried to make it north and south. The big census tract that's down there, that the industrial park, because they use streets to create a block, it's big. And we can't split it, so which ended up why it's kind of that little spot in 5, you know, is south of Campbell, right?
And so Stowe now being 5, or Stowe, yes.
Right. And the thing is, as you said, street, you know, if you're on one side of the street, you're in one council district. If you're on the other side, you're in the other one. But that's, you know, that's normal. That was happening with Huzik with 2 and 4, 111th, right? Right.
Lincoln.
Yeah, yep,
Oh, yeah, that was a weird
Okay.
one.
interesting. All right, wow, thank you. James, Jill, would you like to tie it up a little for us? Thank you. Please.
Well, we thank you for your attention and we hope that you will be able to adopt this plan and get it into the city charter.
We all want to thank all of you, and I'm not sure if you're going to stick around for the vote. It will be a super contentious vote. I'm kidding.
Is the vote, you mean the vote tonight or in
We're
September?
voting tonight, so the process tonight will be the first vote, the finance. And then folks will be able to weigh in over the next couple of weeks, and if the September 8th passes tonight, it'll be on the regular meeting.
So when do we want this?
Have any idea how many people are listening online?
Tens of thousands. No, I'm kidding. Maria can tell us. How many, Maria? That's
Yeah,
okay.
Because
though.
one of the
Yeah.
discouraging things has been how little interest this seems to have
No,
created.
we're trying.
And so, I know.
We really did try to get some word out there, but.
Yep.
no one seems to-
But over the next couple of weeks, we can do more social media, get the word out there. I mean, folks, and you know what'll happen, Jill? after it passes in September, we'll be able to do some education for folks and really get the word out there because, you know, folks, districts are changing and
Council
especially
President.
3, 5, and 6.
We're thinking alike. Joe. I
Exactly.
was just going to say, it doesn't take effect for a year. We've got that time to educate folks on it. Absolutely.
Yep.
And the sooner we can get the maps, we could start distributing that before the September meeting. That would be
Awesome.
helpful.
It'd be great. It'd be great. Mary, thank you. Agnes, Peter, did any of you want to add anything? No? Okay. Yeah, we truly, truly thank you for the hours and all the energy you put into this. I know it's been a lot of work. I did. So thank you. I can bump it up. First, we have a public forum, and then we can bump it up for you. So I'll bump it up to the first item. So then at least you can see the vote. All right, so let's go into the public forum. Would anyone from the audience like to speak on any item on this evening's agenda? Okay, all right, we'll close the public forum. And I am going to bump up ordinance 39. Ordinance 39, ordinance establishing the boundaries of the 6 council districts of the city of Troy. Councilmember Steele, and we invite all council members if they'd like to co-sponsor. It's open. Is there a motion? So moved. Motion, Councilmember Conley Wilson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Men, Councilmember Steele gave you the second. Discussion, Councilmember Steele, why don't you go first?
Well, I think we said it. I want to thank the Independent Redistricting Commission. Despite some potential bumps in the road, you persevered. You kept moving forward. You did not waver. You did it in an extremely nonpartisan, professional, civic-minded way. And you based it on data and not on politics. And that's what's supposed to happen. And so I can't thank you enough for, I'm going to say, courage in hanging in there. And we are very grateful. And probably you'll find, like the rest of us do, that your body of work will not make you any friends. But you, in your heart, you know you've done the right thing. So.
Awesome. Would anyone else like to speak? Councilmember Gully.
I just like to say thank you for the hard work. I know it's difficult. I know it's a lot of back and forth, and you persevere through all the, as Sue said, bumps in the road, but you get to the end. You did a fine job doing it, all of you, and very appreciative. Thank you.
Any other council members?
Council President?
Yep, Councilmember Conley Wilson.
I'd like to just echo everyone else's appreciation for all your hard work. I sometimes feel like I'm in 2 different districts representing District 5, so I'm really happy to hear that the east side will be able to get represented, and same as the south central area of Troy. I know that you guys really thought about the different neighborhoods and the different groups that are really active, so really appreciate, keeping those groups together as best as you could. And I'm really excited to see the new districts and make sure that the public knows all about that. So really appreciate all the maps, all the presentations. Did a great job.
Any other
Council President,
Councilmember Soriento?
I also want to echo everybody's statements. Thank you for all of your hard work. This is a lot. So yeah, thank you very much for all the hard work that you put into this.
Council President.
Councilmember Min.
Yeah, thank you. It's a tremendous amount of work. It's complicated. It's data heavy. And, I really think that Troy is a good model for what our state should be doing as a whole, other municipalities. This is the way it should be done. And kudos. That's, your work will stand for a decade, which, hey, how many of us actually get to have something stick around for 10 years? So thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Min. And, I echo everyone's comments and listen, it's your job. You did have a couple bumps, but that's okay. And, I know that Mary and Peter are sometimes used to a little bump here and there. But saying that, I do want to thank all of you for your hard work, your energy. I'm super glad that the board, the state board did decide not to implement it immediately. Councilmember Steele and I were asked, well, why isn't it being implemented immediately? And it really should be because it's so out of whack. But if you think about it, for the next 3 months or several months, we would go without representation in one of the districts. We would have 2 council members and 4, and we would have a council member out of her district, so no one represents it. So it would have been a mess. It allows us time to implement it appropriately and educate folks. But stating that, I do want to say on 2 fronts, if you could get back to us on that 3, just to make sure Shelton in those small, streets are in 3, because that wouldn't make sense. And then clarify the Emerald Greens area in that area. And then the map, that would be awesome. I do want to state the most I've heard from folks as someone who represents the city as a whole, it never made sense to me, obviously the east side being split up, put into South Troy. And we know that that was done 20 years ago. So I'm super, super glad that now Pauling Ave will all be one. There's a gentleman who calls me literally like every other month asking about it. So this is huge for our city. I mean, it's been 20 years. This is actually historical. And you took 20 years of out of whack districts and you put them in pretty good fashion. Nothing's perfect, and there was no way it could be perfect. But I do think it does the job. And all in all, you just have done a tremendous amount of work. And I thank you incredibly. And thank you for all your hard work. And if you could get back to us, in the next maybe couple days, I'm kidding, Mary, the next week or so, that would be awesome. And thank you again.
Council President.
Yes,
Rick.
Councilmember Steele.
I
Oh,
think Rick,
Rick?
Our corporation counsel wanted to weigh in on something. Do you want the microphone?
Yes, please.
Oh, the amendment.
We need the microphone.
Yeah, actually, we have to amend this. Yes, thank you.
Right, right.
I'm like,
Yes, yeah.
I need to hear him in the microphone. I can't hear Rick.
Is it on?
Hello?
Yes.
Yay.
There you are.
So the ordinance that was introduced has an effective date of immediately. It obviously wouldn't take effect until after the next session anyways. It could be amended then, but if you'd like to amend it today, I sent around a proposed new section 10 and new section 11,
got it.
which should do the trick. I can hand it to you also. if
That would be awesome.
If
anyone is
Thanks,
interested.
Rick. Yep, thank you. So section 10, it looks like the new boundaries of the 6 city council districts established by this ordinance shall be in effect on January 1st, 2024. And then section 11, a council member elected at the general election immediately prior to January 1st, 2024 must be a qualified elector resident within the new boundaries of the district from which the member is elected and shall be elected by the qualified electors resident within the new boundaries of such district. And there's no date when that qualified elector has to live there or just by that date.
Well,
Correct.
I mean, the election is taking place in November for the districts that will be in effect. For the new council will be elected in November 2023. For
Right.
So the people so the new district should be in effect for that general election. And the Board of Elections at that time will have the election districts assigned to the new districts. So but the actual effective date when everything takes place is January 1st, 2024.
Yep. Okay.
So
It's a little awkward, but I
Yeah,
didn't know how
I
else to do
know.
it. Okay,
I
so
know.
I think
I
I
know.
think I accomplished it.
I think you did. I do.
Okay.
Okay.
we
So
need to
I'll
amend.
make a motion to amend per what I just said. Is there a second? Second, Councilmember Soriento, discussion on the amendments. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? On the amended ordinance, is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Councilmember Gully. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Steele, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, ordinance passes 6-0. Thank you again.
Thanks
Thank
again,
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Rick. Okay. Thank you again, Jeff. All right, ordinance 35. Oh, public forum. I believe Bob Blackman did sign up. Okay, Bob signed off. Ordinance 35, ordinance amending the 2022 general fund budget. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, is there a motion? Motion, Councilmember Gully. Is there a second? Second, Councilmember Soriento. Discussion. Rick, these are the demolitions reimbursements. Was it just one or was it more than one? It's one. Do you know which one? Just by chance, Andy, you could get back to us if you don't have it handy. So nice having Andy here. Andy. I did. I'm so sorry.
He's still on his consulting fee until we get him back on the board here. We're gonna pass him first.
We better bump that up
You don't
every
wanna spend
minute that
2
goes by. Is there a motion?
So
Oh,
moved.
we already said on discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, ordinance 35 carries 6-0. And Andy, if you could let us know where that is, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Thank you. We love having you back. Ordinance 36, that was from Councilmember Goen. Ordinance amending the 2022 general fund budget to accept funds from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services for the purpose of gun-involved violence elimination, also known as GIVE. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Councilmember Gully. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. It's a tie. Councilmember Steele will give it to discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ordinance 36 carries 6-0. Ordinance 37, ordinance amending the general fund capital projects fund to allocate funding from the American Rescue Plan Act. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, is there a motion? So moved. Motion, Council Member Conley Wilson. Is there a second? Second, Council Member Gully. Discussion.
Council President?
Council Member Conley Wilson.
I'm real excited about this road. I think it's really important it goes right through my district, and people have been asking me about it since I've been in office, and I'm sure they will ask me long after I'm out of office. Hopefully it's done by the time we finish up this term. I just had a question about, were there other, I know in the memo it mentioned that like there are certain grants that we've received that we can't use this money towards this. I was just curious if there were other grants that were looked into or other venues, or why are we using, why is it ARPA? I'm just curious.
So this is similar to phase one, where water infrastructure work is not eligible under DOT reimbursement.
Gotcha.
It's a similar method,
Mhm.
same ideological reason why it's not reimbursable.
Gotcha.
To my knowledge, there weren't any other grants that were, I know we didn't look at other grants the last time we did it.
Mhm.
It is a clear cut, at least two purposes under ARPA,
Gotcha.
making it allowable use. So
Awesome.
that's why financially for the water fund, this avenue was pursued.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. I think I recall learning about IIJA, which is an infrastructure grant that's opening up. I'm not sure if like this is eligible under that, but that might be an avenue to look into.
We can, there is a
about that.
time, there's just the back, there's a time pressing issue here where this was bid in late June, I think mid-June.
Mhm.
The bid was out, bids are back. It's out of with the bids back, in order to execute the contract, the appropriation has to be set
Gotcha.
to move forward with it, which is why it's on the special tonight as well, is to move forward.
Yeah, I
with
saw
this.
the
So,
resolution.
Yeah, so contracts can be executed and the pipe can actually be ordered
Awesome. Yeah. and I know
officially.
That has been, pipes.
Yeah.
We've had like year-long leads on those. So I really appreciate all the work on this. I think this is a really important project that many people have been waiting for a long time. So it's great. It's moving into phase two, hopefully soon.
Andy, the timeline now, where this is to purchase the piping, because obviously it continues to escalate. So we're looking at next year more or less in terms of the actual, like, putting in the line, because this is being extended to Washington Street, right?
I believe if memory serves, there in conversations in June, they were looking at probably delivery. I think, if I recall correctly, sometime in early 23. Given the lead time change that occurred in this year.
End of March. Okay. Gotcha. And we appropriated how much prior? Because didn't we appropriate, what was it, $1 million
For
for piping? Didn't we,
No.
a couple months?
any appropriation we did several months ago with, and I don't recall the dollar amount, was because of the lead time issue that Chris was faced with. That was for just strictly,
Okay,
your
that
comment,
was-
that's a separate thing.
Okay.
That the appropriation we did earlier this year was for your regular water main break inventory pipe for replacement. Because of the lead time issue that was faced with, that appropriation was to buy pipe to be used for next year.
Okay, that's separate from this. Thank you, Andy. Anyone else? Any other questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, ordinance 37 carries 6-0. Ordinance 38, ordinance declaring certain city-owned personal property as surplus and directing the office of the city comptroller to sell or dispose of the surplus property. Is Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Councilmember Steele, is there a second? Second, Councilmember Soriento. Discussion, I do need to amend this ordinance to add, you will see on your table, a number of DPW yellow highlighted. We're looking at some traffic control cabinets, a couple DPW dump trucks, and other items. I did talk to Bill Mangler. about the control cabinets and the lights. He said some of them are never used. So I am making a motion to add these items. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Men will give it to you if you don't mind. On the discussion of the amendment. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? On the amended ordinance, is there a motion? So moved. Motion, Councilmember Conley Wilson. Is there a second? Second, Councilmember Gully. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 38 carries 6-0. Ordinance 39, we passed. Ordinance 40, ordinance transferring funds within the general fund and within the water fund to the 2022 budget. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, is there a motion? Motion, Councilmember Gully. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Steele. Discussion. Yes, I did. Yep.
Title amended, please, from general fund to garbage fund.
Ah. All right, let me take a look at this. Hold on one sec. I thought I had a question on this one, Andy. I think it mentions bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, I see, because of the paper bag revenue, et cetera. So that's coming out the general or the garbage, going into the garbage, correct?
So yes, so the sales tax receipts from the paper bag sales tax collection that is done in the city. There's a state law that mandates that any revenues you receive from that are used exclusively for the purchase of reusable bags. So
Oh, that's right.
so the thinking behind this is to set up a designated account exclusively for the purchase of reusable bags and not commingling it in a regular operating materials and supplies account, so that if it's ever looked at by anyone, it's very simple to pull. There's a direct linear relationship between the revenue and the expenditure.
Smart.
I see. And, but we have it right on the attachment, I noticed.
Yes, so what we did, we budgeted sales tax revenue in 2022, not knowing this rule. So it's right sizing it's correcting the budget to reflect that rule of the paper bags or the reusable bags.
All right. I did notice, the comp buyout, it says to cover a budget shortfall. Was there someone that retired that we weren't aware of or didn't?
Most
Plan.
likely, yes.
Okay. And then the only other question I had, the utilities. Didn't we up the utilities already a couple months ago before you left, or?
In the general fund, not the water
Okay.
fund, to my memory. I know we did general fund before. In
Okay.
June, we did.
I thought it was DPU. I don't know.
We may have it.
Okay. Okay.
So we need to amend. the title.
So yes, I will make an amendment, ordinance transferring funds within the garbage fund and within the water fund to the 2022 budget. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Steele. Discussion? All in favor on the amendment?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Amendment carries 6-0 on the amended ordinance. Is there a motion?
So move.
Motion, Councilmember Steele. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Gully. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 40 carries 6-0. Resolution 95, resolution recognizing the 90th birthday of Ernestine Russ Hampton. Council President Mantello, is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Councilmember Gully. Is there a second? Second, Councilmember Soriento. I would ask Gabrielle Vasili to come up for a minute. Gabrielle is Ernestine's granddaughter. And Gabrielle, real quick, do you have the, is there a mic right there? Gabrielle, tell us real quick about your grandmother, and she turns 90. And she did have a fall. How's she doing? And, you know, we congratulate your grandmother on her 90th birthday.
Thank you. So she is still in the hospital. She's doing okay. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to make her birthday, but she's stated she wants us to still have the party, so we're gonna have it in her honor. My grandmother is a great person. She's been there for me through everything when I lived in California. No matter where I was, she's always been there. So I'm just grateful that you guys are recognizing her because she is such an amazing person and she gives back and does so much for so many. So I appreciate this and thank you guys.
Yeah. And Gabrielle, her address is not in the resolution, but do you mind sharing that?
Or just generally.
Or generally, you don't have to give the exact where she lives.
Your microphone is off.
Yeah, what neighborhood?
No.
So it's 444 Fifth Ave. And she's on the first, or excuse me, she's on the second floor.
And Henrietta is Ernestine's daughter.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
And you know
Right,
Henrietta
sure.
from THA. So,
Absolutely. Yes.
Gabrielle, I want to read this really quick on behalf of your grandmother, and we'll give you the resolution to hand to her. So before you
you.
leave, make sure you grab it. Whereas Ernestine Ross Hampton was born in 1932, a daughter of Georgia sharecroppers, and whereas she is the oldest of 24 children. Woo! And whereas Ernestine moved from Glenville, Georgia to Troy, New York at the age of 19, and whereas she worked as a nursing assistant at Van Rensselaer Manor Nursing Home and cleaned the state building for 36 years. And whereas she is a devoted Baptist and a member of the New Hope Baptist Church, where she is an Eastern Star member. And whereas Ernestine is the proud mother of 4 children, Earl, Maxine, MacArthur, and Henrietta, and grandmother and great-grandmother to a host of grand and great-grandchildren. And whereas Ernestine is deeply loved and greatly appreciated by her family and friends, and in fact, by everyone she encounters. Now therefore be it resolved that the Troy City Council pause in its deliberations to celebrate the 90th birthday of Ernestine Ross Hampton with our earnest hope, and Ernestine may enjoy many more to come. Congratulations, Gabrielle. Thank you. I'd like to,
To come, if you heard that.
yep, Councilmember Steele.
I believe, as we know, Councilmember Figueroa is unable to be here tonight due to death of his grandmother. So he had asked during our caucus if he might be added as a co-sponsor
Co-sponsor.
of this. So
Absolutely.
thank-
Absolutely. Thank you. And here's the reso. Just see.
yeah, it looks nice.
Nice. Here you go. If you could give this to Grandma.
I don't know. I was going to ask that later on. I didn't know.
There's-
And they would give them the time.
All right. Resolution number 95 carries 6-0. Resolution 96, resolution recognizing the life of Pat M. Casal, Council President Mantello, Steele, Gully, Figueroa, Men, Conley Wilson, and Soriento, all of us. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Councilmember Gully. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Soriento. We will hold this for the September meeting. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Resolution 96 carries 6-0. Resolution 97, resolution appointing a commissioner of deeds for the city of Troy, Council President Mantello. Is there a motion? So moved. Motion, Councilmember Conley Wilson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Gully. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution 97 carries 6-0. Resolution 98. Resolution authorizing the hiring of an environmental engineering consultant to administer a grant from the United States EPA for brownfield site assessments and redevelopment planning. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, is there a motion? So moved. Motion, Councilmember Conley Wilson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Steele. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 98 carries 6-0. Resolution 99, resolution confirming the appointment of Andrew M. Petrowski as Comptroller of the City of Troy. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Councilmember Gully. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Steele. I have a number of questions for our
Yeah.
soon-to-be
I-
comptroller.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
question his experience. I'm not sure.
Now, I will state, Andy, you should know that some folks have commented on your return, and they said that there is a nicer, gentler, and friendlier Andy Petrowski. So I'm so sorry I gave you the wrong reso. I just realized that. Thank you, Gabby. Hey, Gabby, thanks for reading it.
Okay, we have to take back Andy's commemorative-
This is for the Heart Memorial.
We have to take back Andy's commemorative we gave him when he left.
Oh, Andy, Councilmember Gully suggests that you give back that very valuable certificate that we gave you on the way out. All the better, all
That's
the
because we knew
better.
you'd be back.
We knew you'd be back. See that? It's an omen. It's an omen. That's
We know you
classic.
love the challenge.
All right. Is there a motion? Oh, we already
did
have
that.
it. Is there a second motion?
We have that.
Andy, we're super happy to have you back. Okay, thank
Talk
you.
about it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nay, I'm sorry. No. Resolution 99 carries 6-0. Resolution 100, resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a supplemental consultant agreement for Southbury Industrial Road Project Phase 2 inspection and support, New York State DOT, PIN number 1761.30. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration, is there a motion? So moved. Motion, Councilmember Gully. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Conley Wilson. Steve, I saw that Steve Strikeman is with us. Because you weren't here, I didn't ask any questions on the brownfields. So I'll get you at the next meeting. He was on.
He was on for a
He
second.
blanked out.
I'm on right now, but I'll be happy to answer that at the next meeting or the answers right now if you would like to ask.
Not a problem. Iterate past Steve. We'll
Okay.
get you. Not a problem.
Okay.
Resolution 100, any discussion?
I'm just so excited to see this project moving along. And I know many constituents will be very excited as well. Thank you, guys.
It's moving along. I thought I did have we split the project 2 phases. This is just continuation with an existing. Okay, so we're essentially keeping CME on. Okay.
Yes, nothing's changed at all. It's just a technicality to hire them. You'll see most of the work next year.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 100 carries 6-0. Resolution 101, resolution authorizing and ratifying employment contract for the chief of the City of Troy Fire Department. Council President Mantello, at the request of the administration. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Councilmember Gully. Is there a second? Second, Councilmember Soriento. Would the mayor or Andy like to walk us through quick? There's a pretty thorough memo in the backup, but not sure if you don't mind giving a quick overview for the public. Thank you. And Mayor, I do appreciate your memo on this. It did go very thorough.
I don't have the contract in front of me, but as the memo indicates, it's largely a continuation of the terms of the previous contract. For those who are new to the council, the fire department chief and the 3 chiefs in the police department are not represented by a union. They are not part of a collective bargaining agreement. So we do have employment contracts with them. These contracts, it's my understanding, need to be renewed on a biannual basis each time a new council comes in. So we're a little delayed in getting this renewed for the chief. And now I need to proceed with the police department chiefs as well. But The terms are essentially the same. The compensation has changed a little bit. It's in line with where our police chiefs are and in line with surrounding departments. It's hard to find an exact comparable because our department is a different size than surrounding departments, and we also offer services that don't exactly mirror those in other departments. But I think the chief and I both feel it's a fair deal, and it runs through the end of December 2023.
Thank you, Mayor. And you know what, Rick, would it be super difficult? I know we have the contract in front of us, but in the future to redline it, to show us what it was prior, you know, like an amendment,
Yeah,
would that be?
we can do that.
This is fine. It's okay. This is fine. And, you know, I'm fine, but in the future, I would love,
Sure.
you know, the changes. That's all. Yeah. And cross out and comment. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. And, you know, Chief McMahon, you know, you've been doing a very good job, I know. And I see Eric Wisher is here, and I know we have, you know, quite a few issues, and staffing is certainly an issue. And, you know, I'm hopeful that, you know, we do at some point have a long-term plan for the staffing issues. And I know it's a priority for all of us. So further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 101 carries 6-0. I'll take a motion. We'll go
So
right
moved.
into the special. We have a
Motion to amend.
motion. Councilmember Steele, is there a second? to
Second.
Adjourn? A tie. We'll give it eeny, meeny, Councilmember Conley Wilson. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we'll go into the special. I ask Councilmember Steele to lead us in the pledge. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, my bag's
All right. Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Gully,
Yes.
Councilmember Figueroa, Councilmember Steele,
Present.
Councilmember Men,
Present.
Councilmember Conley Wilson,
Present.
Councilmember Soriento, here, Council President Mantello.
I am here.
6 are present, 1 absent.
Council
All right.
President,
Yes,
I just
Councilmember
want
Steele.
to explain for any members of the public who might have not been here earlier. Councilmember Figueroa is unable to be with us due to the death of his grandmother. He's in Tennessee right now. So our thoughts and prayers are with him. Otherwise, he would certainly be here.
Thank you, Councilmember Steele. Presentation of the agenda. We have 4 items. They were on this evening of the finance and public forum. We'll open it up to the public. Would anyone like to speak on any item on the agenda? Okay, public forum closed. Ordinance 37.
Ordinance 37, ordinance amending the general fund and capital projects fund to allocate funding from the American Rescue Plan Act. Council President Mantello at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion? Motion, Councilmember Soriento. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Conley Wilson. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
6 ayes, 0 noes. Ordinance 37 passes.
Resolution 95.
Resolution 95, resolution recognizing the 90th birthday of Ernestine Rose Hampton. Council President Mantello.
Is there a motion? Oh, and all council members, I believe, did want to go in that, so please add them.
Yes.
Thank you. Is
So
there a
moved.
motion? Councilmember Conley Wilson, is there a second? Second, Councilmember Soriento. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
6 ayes, 0 noes. Resolution 95 passes.
Resolution 99, resolution confirming the appointment of Andrew M. Petrowski as comptroller of the city of Troy. Council President Mantello at the request of the administration. Is there a motion?
So moved.
That's a tie. Councilmember Conley Wilson, is there a second?
Second.
Second. Councilmember Men. Discussion.
Council President.
Yes, Councilmember
I
Conley
just want to
Wilson.
thank Andy for coming back and providing so much helpful information today. And we're certainly all excited to have you back. So thank you.
All right, now Go is going to come in. I know.
I like watching his face turn red.
Just expand.
Isn't it nice to be appreciated though? Seriously, you're not going to want to go home.
He doesn't like those.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
6 ayes, 0 noes. Resolution 99 passes.
And I apologize. Resolution 101.
Resolution 101, resolution authorizing and ratifying employment contract for the chief of the City of Troy Fire Department, Council President Mantell, at the request of the administration.
Is there a motion? Councilmember Soriento, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Conley Wilson. She jumped at that, Eric. You should have asked for more money. Please, I'm kidding. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
6 ayes, 0 noes. Resolution 101 passes.
It was so exciting.
We have a second public forum. If anyone would like to speak on anything going on in your neighborhood, anything that we should be apprised of. Anyone? Nobody online?
Bob is gone.
Public forum closed. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
He'll email me.
Second.
Everybody, second, Councilmember Conley Wilson, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Councilmember Min.
Feel better.
Feel better.
Feel better.
Hey, should we,
I know.